At the Event 4 final table, Kristen Foxen staged a masterpiece to defeat Jeremy Osmus and win the title. Today, Cherish Andrews looks to make it 3 female winners in a row at the 2026 U.S. Poker Open, looking to repeat her Event 3 title. But she'll have to get through the likes of chip leader Brandon Wilson, as well as breakout star of the 26 PokerGO Cup, Dr. Jack Pan. The trophy is up for grabs. Find out who takes it home right now. We dip our quill into the ink and write another chapter of this year's U.S. Poker Open. Hello, everyone, and welcome to continuing coverage from inside the PokerGO studio, event number 5. Another 10K no limit, that which we bring you here today from Aria Resort and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip. The weather outside beautiful, and the circumstances for one Brandon Wilson even better. Ali Najad alongside Brent Hanks here for the call. And here to see whether or not that lady right there, Cherish Andrews, the other half to Brock Wilson, can work her way into number 1 and beyond. As regardless of her finish here today, she stands to wind up with more than 271 points. Dr. Jack, though, as we mentioned, very much a storyline with 5 cashes thus far in this year's Cup, and then perhaps the coolest operator on tour, Brandon Wilson, 5-time PGT title winner, up to the task and up to 3.6 million in chips, 59 bigs with 12 places paid of 80 entries. Cherish, of course, in dire straits, sub 10 bigs, all eyes on her as they cobble for a $16,000 pay ladder. That's the difference between 6th and 5th. Jesse Lonis on the outside of this official final table. He's a name that we've called on more than one occasion throughout the course of this year and last, as he has very much emerged as a permanent force to be reckoned with. So with that, we'll get the cards back in the air. And I know, Brent, at the top of the day, when you saw the 6 names, Cherish's was the one that you were focused on, just given her and Brock just in great shape to find their hands wrapped around the overall series Eagle Trophy.
No matter where Cherish Andrews finishes here today, she will be number 1 on the outright USPO leaderboard, where Brock Wilson will, of course, remain number 2. So the power couple at the very tip top. This is quite a storyline developing.
That it is.
You're going to play any more events, or is
Zaki and Javanni.
You're going to end on a high note?
Not going to be involved in this one. Now Wilson, your chip leader, King 10 off in the small.
About the 4 o'clock flight, hopefully.
All right, here you go.
About the 4 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Tell me if you're going to call before I do it.
could be coming close. Hopefully, coming close.
Hopefully it is.
He does ask Cherish for all of it. 7-4 offsuit. Painful to not find one that she can stick it in with. As 2 of those precious blinds she begins with lost in that exchange.
Yeah.
For like 2-3 weeks.
Oh, shit, hell yeah.
Try to play all the main.
Brandon Wilson, nearly $15 million in career tournament earnings for that young man who's got a whole lot of each one of those chip denominations. Nickels, quarters, 100Ks. Just 32 years of age, originally from Chicago, a Northwestern University journalism major. And I can't remember if you were with me when we unearthed
For the whole series.
video of Brandon doing some hosting work, and actually, I maintain that if for some reason he decides to end up on this side of the operation, he would be a huge asset to the community in that respect.
You're not rooting for me. That's fucked up.
I thought you were going in a different direction, Ali. There's also video out there of Brandon Wilson.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Is a hip-hop artist. I'm not kidding. He's a rapper.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Very.
A man of many talents.
Very versatile fella.
By the way, shout out the Razor Ramon shirt there. Zaki, WrestleMania coming to town here in Vegas?
Sure is. This weekend. I'll be there on Sunday.
I believe it.
Yep.
You going to go into Bill's Mafia mode and crack a table?
Well, we'll see. Apparently, I'm going to be in the Pat McAfee suite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I made that part up.
Oh.
But I am going.
Yeah. 4th deck.
Parking lot.
Andrews jamming it here with the Jack 7 offsuit. Doc with the Queen 2 suited.
Yeah, he's thinking about giving this a spin. Not a lot of chips, obviously, from Cherish. Queen deuce suited can be the best hand. As we can see, it is the best hand.
Yeah, there is some part of her range that he is ahead of, but that deuce problematic enough to allow her to do what Brandon Wilson did to her a pot ago, and back come those 2 blinds for the 35-year-old Chambersburg, PA native who lives here in Las Vegas. Brock Wilson's girlfriend, obviously a brilliant mind off of which to bounce her ideas. Home chef and pastry baker, 2-time GPI Female Player of the Year, an accolade that Kristen Foxen, who won yesterday's event number 4, knows a thing or two about. 2-time PGT title winner, and 4.4 million is nothing to scoff at.
Boys lie. What's this all about?
Hang on, allow me. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We will do and or say
Right.
anything for a trip to the,
What's that?
you know.
You know, I was going to talk about, you pointed out the baking.
Yeah.
She brings to the studio here often muffins and or chocolate chip cookies, brownies. I'm
What-
telling you, yes.
Now,
And they're-
I believe it all, but you know,
Yeah.
being that certain ingredients are legal here in Las Vegas, is anyone,
Yeah.
we can't just distribute them haphazardly to the entire crew. for
I'll
fear
take
of-
2.
Yeah, just saying. Cherish could end up nuking you boys. King Jack, she drops a bomb from the button.
Count.
Ace 10 for Placey.
Yeah, action.
Yep.
By the way, just so you know, the exact counts up on the screen. It's almost always
Peter
exactly
Placey.
accurate. Just Should be what I started with.
Out of California.
uh, Oh, I got my.
One of the newer faces here at the PokerGO Tour.
You know, first
His
time.
first final table.
Yeah, first time I'm laying eyes on him from here inside the booth.
Call.
As the expected call eventually does get declared by the 57-year-old who lives in San Juan Capistrano by way of Santa Monica. Business owner, not a professional poker player, but obviously has looked the part en route to this final table where he might just be punching himself and 4 others into the top 5 if his ace-10 holds on, which it very much does on this board. Cherish
do you have
recognizing
any outs going to the river?
the challenge before her, and she's going to draw dead
GG.
on the turn. No sweat and no full orbit worth of participation for Cherish Andrews as she is showered early here in event 5. $40,000 richer for her efforts, though, Brent.
Yeah, and most important, now number 1 on the U.S. Poker Open leaderboard. Has her eyes on the prize, the giant Golden Eagle to accompany her already event number 3 win. I have a feeling we're going to see Cherish again. I'm predicting, I'm calling it another final table here at the USPO.
Well, on the other side of that, of course, is Peter Placey, who actually placed 35th in a main event here in Vegas, granted over a decade ago, but certainly demonstrative of his ability to make deep runs, as he's enjoying here inside the studio. Father of 2, Lily and James,
Oh, I'm sorry. Shit.
but no one else in the family plays poker.
He's it. Nobody?
Well, his immediate family. Travel enthusiast who met his wife at a restaurant.
Who else?
Italy and Egypt among his favorite destinations. Passport stamps in Greece, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, Spain. Placey gets around. And you know what? I mean, I'm hoping that there's some lie flats involved, you know, for Placey's sake in these journeys.
What's a lie flat?
When the seat on the plane turns into a bed.
They make those?
You know what, Brent? It's better for you to think they don't. You know, just whilst wedging yourself. And no judgment, but, you know, at the back of the bus.
That's why I like the emergency row. You get extra
Right.
leg room.
Yes. But you understand that everyone's counting on you in that spot, right? As we count bottom pair against top pair here, it was Dr. Jack who clicked it with the blinds at 30, 60, and 60, up to 120. Looking over to ensure that is indeed top pair that he's been fortunate enough to find here against Placey, who defended understandably with the suited connector, albeit from the small, not the big.
155.
becomes 155.
I love all of this so far from Dr. Jack. Opening the button with king 5 off, leveraging, putting pressure on those blinds. Love the sizing on the flop. Well done. The good doctor.
That's got to be his lucky hat, because it's not the first time that I've seen it. I've no clue what it stands for. I am willing to guess that we've no more pegs remaining or buttons at the back of the hat with which to increase its circumference. I think we are tapped out in that regard.
Yeah.
Hailing from Shanghai, China, but living here in Vegas, a PhD in biochem, but he's very much like the professor of poker inside the studio, a 3-time title winner with 1.9 million in earnings, and of course, a full tilt poker black card pro once upon a time, as evidenced by the jacket, which he wears with such pride.
You know, I was also a full tilt poker black card holder,
See,
and
you weren't.
no, I really was. I promise you, I think I have it at the house somewhere.
Do you have that jacket?
No, I have the card.
Yeah, well, where's the jacket?
I didn't get the jacket. Yeah, that jacket I think only costs about $60,000.
In rake?
Just giving it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, looking to take it away is the man with the jacket and the pocket jacks. 120, Pan activating again. And no takers around the Javanni. Suited but dusty is the 8-3.
Javanni also a newcomer here at the PGT, his first final table, much like Peter Placey. And also like Placey, a real estate investor.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Managing his portfolio.
Out of Georgia.
Okay.
5 kids at home, tuning in. Maybe not the newborn that he and his wife had 2 days ago, or 2 weeks ago.
I don't think the 2-day-old is soaking this one up.
Yeah.
I do think, though, that you should all head over to Global Poker and play the U.S. Poker Open Online Edition. It runs now through April 26th. You can get in on the action with daily tourneys, big guarantees, and a shot at a Vegas prize package. Don't miss it. That's the U.S. Poker Open online at globalpoker.com.
It's like an 80s sort of riff. You feeling that?
Yeah, was that like the Saved by the Bell Open?
Wow.
What was that? Not sure if 10-6 offsuit's going to qualify as an open here for Zaki, and sure enough, into the bin he goes. Plenty of focus on Javanni, who's got those 700,000 in chips in the on-deck circle for elimination. As the short stack, 11 bigs, but 1 double, he could loosen his collar. Instead, it is Wilson, whose collar is loosest among the remaining combatants. This has become the trademark, the dangling of the glasses from the tips of the ears.
How does he do that?
Well, I think the glasses are you know, kind of tight, narrow, so they're stretched a bit when he gets them lined up like this. It's not sorcery.
Did the glasses ever go on? Or we just wear them like that below the chin?
No, I think it's not, you know, it's not an accessory in current configuration. It's there for a reason. And plenty of reason for Javanni to get his stack moving. King, queen off. All in declared. An ace in the small for Wilson. Deuce offsuit kicker. Not enough. Suited 3 kicker, though.
675.
Wants a count. Taking a look over at the board.
Also Jack over there, too.
To get it.
That's too far. I'm kidding. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Obviously, you can still ask for a count, just letting you know.
Yeah.
Close one here for Dr. Jack.
I think with 2.3 million in front of him, 40 bigs. He knows there's so many hands that he is in front of. Wait, is he gonna fold? He is gonna fold,
Wow.
Brent. I
This
confess,
time, not
I'm a
next
little
time.
surprised. Maybe Javanni just a bit too deep for his taste.
Pretty close. There is merit to just not wanting to call off that percentage of your chip stack. You know, you're sort of hoping someone else can bust the guy while you preserve and ladder up. But
And of course, if you get it wrong, he now has 22 bigs, and you know, you're a little bit further removed from
Right.
being able to enjoy the next pay ladder, which is 20,000, 56K on lockup, 76K the next payout, and that would, of course, represent the biggest career cash for Anil Jivani.
Had a chance to talk to Anil Jivani yesterday inside the studio, Ali, and, you know, there's one show that he really wants to play on, and that is high-stakes poker.
I love it.
So we got a potential new blood for the biggest cash game on TV.
Raise.
And I believe one of the few where the CEO encourages his co-commentator to indulge in fine wine during the broadcast.
Well, buddy, if for whatever reason I end up on the air for high-stakes poker, you know, it's a bucket list kind of item. If it's with you or if it's with Nick Schulman, I'm going to drink wine and get hammered.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
if
soak
that's
it
the
all
right
up.
way. Yeah, it sends a slippery kind of message. Anyway,
I'm going to enjoy myself. Ali.
Yeah.
not so enjoyable. Ace-3 against Ace-Jack. King-9-6. No joy for either holding. Jack of spades for pawn of interest. Both players check and both pick up a flush draw. Wilson deliberating here, but I think he's going to hunt showdown with the ace high. Board pairing king is cozy for both of these holdings. Doc in bluff catch mode, Wilson not in bluff mood. And he will get shown the winner. Pan, of course, going to be treading very lightly against the one man that has him covered here at this table, which is Wilson.
Yeah, that's what I expect. But Dr. Jack, I think he's built different. He's not afraid to tangle up with the chip leader. You know, he's here to win. Not so sure he cares about these ladders, but we'll see. You know, that ace-3 of hearts fold may have dictated that, but I do think it was more of just kicker concerns. Thinking, not a great ace.
I do confess I have recollections of the doctor bobbing and weaving a little bit. Here he is, ready with eights on the button.
Raise.
Saber rattle. Just a click north of the min. 130. Zaki with an ace in the big. Justin's second shortest stack out there right now.
Yeah. A hair north of 20 bigs.
Is he looking to summon the courage, Brent?
I don't know if he's thinking about stuffing. Maybe in between just call or fold. Or how about this option? Let's 3-bet the meaty variety out of the big blind with ace dust. He stepped right into it, unfortunately, for Zaki. I don't think Dr. Jack is going away with these two eights.
No, I don't. But just consider that this 3-bet to 480 accomplishes just about the same thing, given his stack depth, as the jam, for all intents and purposes, let's say. The jam, of course, can usher maybe some portion of the range into the muck that might otherwise be considering hanging around. Eights, though, never going to go anywhere. And let's see whether or not Doc, forgive me.
480, right?
Well, I thought maybe he would consider
I
pushing
really
back.
like this start from the good doctor. I'm not sure if he's thinking about a lot of ace dust, king dust that would be 3-betting. But if it is, you just have those hands in really rough shape.
And you're looking at a 9-high rainbow board up against nothing more than deuces for Zaki, who might very well be thinking this board is not his. in terms of Dr. Jack's as an opener and then a defender for 480.
Could go really either way, right? If you think that Dr. Jack could have a better ace to have started the hand, or a hand like King Queen suited, you've now outflopped that particular range. And he's going to continue to bet and go to work. And I believe the doctor just thinks this is a great board for 2-8s. You're no longer fearing hands like ace queen, ace king whenever you've seen a flop.
And other than pocket nines, you're really not expecting a 9 to be involved in Zaki's 3-bet range from the big. Using an extension here is Pan.
I don't believe fold is an option. I think he's got to be in between call once more or just get the hand over with. Maybe shove and hope to get it through. You know, if you shove and get snapped, you're getting called by better. It is an uncomfortable scenario for the doctor. Zaki's not known for getting out of line often. It's a great image.
Call. 360.
365 and 2 times extension.
And the doctor will call once more.
10 more. 365.
The size of this pot, almost 1.8 million out there.
King on the turn. And is Zaki ready to come off the top rope with the remaining 530 into 1-8?
Kind of a sweet card if he can pull the trigger and turn this hand into a bluff. Targeting exactly a hand like 8s, 10s.
Check now from Zaki.
Oi.
Wow.
Pan pounces.
This is wild, Ali. He's ripping it on the king turn. Almost like he's turning his 8s into a bluff just in case he's trying to fold out, you know, a better hand.
I mean, I don't think 10s through queens are showing up in this fashion.
I don't think so, but it is a bizarre one to say the least. Zaki really thinking about calling it off. Could the doctor have turned backdoor clubs?
You know, I'm not sure. I think he's contemplating how often his hand is ever good.
It is just bizarre, right? Not a lot makes sense. Zaki doesn't make sense of it, thinking, how do you have a king? Why are you moving all in? Zaki thinks that the doctor is bluffing, and in a way, he's sort of right, but he's bluffing with the best hand.
All right, players, thank you very much for coming out today.
Painful fold, but the correct one. As Zaki sends a big chunk of his stack over to Dr. Pan.
Wow.
Better to do that than go flatline, as the doctor will tell you. 15 cashes, 5 podiums, 9 FTs, a couple of titles, and winnings approaching $1 million. Number 4 on the PGT leaderboard this year, and he's putting in the volume too. I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine if you're one of his patients that you're really getting the sort of care.
This is just 2026 alone. He has done this through the month of April. This is a sensational resume. Dr. Jack, he means business, and he is clearly on a quest to qualify for the year-end PGT Championship. He is making noise early.
ace. 120.
Queen Jack. Not going to put a silencer on that stack as once again he enters the arena.
Very secure about the integrity. Dealers, high card for your own button, please. Dealers, please high card
Dust
for your
all
own
around.
button.
Yeah, and Javanni knows 8-4 offsuit. Not the kind of fixer-upper he's interested in. Doesn't even have good bones.
You got a good bone, Ali?
I'm really not sure what you've just asked me.
Your bone density. I mean, you have healthy bones?
You didn't say bones. You said bones, singular. And granted that I'm not a canine, that actually is
No, I just meant, osteoporosis. Isn't that a thing with
a
the
good bone.
bones?
A good. Well, you left out density. By the way, this one here,
Wow.
replete with calcium.
Yes.
Placey, aces.
Oh, look at the little acting.
Let him cook.
Uh-huh. Here we go, Peter. Yes.
120.
Yeah.
Zaki not interested. King 10 for Javanni.
He's thinking about giving it a spin. Very short. That's a nice disciplined fold from Javanni. Oh, my
Uh-oh.
gosh.
Well,
What?
we found the frozen section at this grocery store. Kings versus aces. Wilson comes with the 3-bet. Placey loves to see it. Behind the shades he goes. And up to 380 is Placey's consideration.
We
Do I
already
slow
saw
play?
one king hit the muck as well. Brandon Wilson in dire straits will be losing probably half of his stack.
Does have a couple of clean suits for what it's worth.
Sure. How does Placey want to proceed?
Right.
Whoa.
You know, this is wild, man, because I get the sense Wilson absolutely attributes a narrow and strong range to a 4-bet from Placey. But we have kings.
Right.
You know, it just is what it is.
And also notable that Placey didn't even count the chips. He just grabbed a stack of purple and slid it out there.
Oh.
He knows right now it's aces.
Beaten into the pot and kind of chuckling as he suspected it was such nonsense. And by the way, Placey's poised to leave a pretty significant mark in Wilson's stack, which trails Dr. Pan's coming into this one. And he could very easily slip into the midfield in 3rd place unless rabbits and hats say hello. 8,
Well,
Jack 10, couple of clubs cooking.
kind of a way.
Queen of clubs for
Yeah.
the extra sweaty one.
Uh-huh.
No, that's a mouthful of cotton on the turn. The dehumidifying 3 of diamonds, and Wilson pulling at 1 actual king. And that ain't it. So Placey with the cooler, and on the back end of this one with 3.3 million in front of him.
What a spot for Placey, his first final table here inside the PokerGo studio.
You didn't have to do any work either, huh?
Aces versus kings. Down go the Cowboys.
You saw Wilson's reaction pre-flop.
You know, he sort of just knew, didn't he? But he had the one hand that, oh, man.
Where am I going to
You
go?
just got to get it in. Yeah.
You know what's wild? I've played the World Series main event twice, and both times I busted, it was in that exact spot in a very similar scenario to the one that Brandon had, where the person who put it in, you're just looking at it, and I'm like, this is never a bluff. This is just it. And sure enough, on both occasions, it was. What it isn't any longer for Brandon Wilson is a dominating chip lead. And it all unraveled in fairly short order. Granted, nobody was going to do anything different. No fault of Brandon's that he finds himself with 32 bigs, but that is just about half of what our defaulting chip leader, Dr. Jack, has in front of him.
Good place. He's still stacking the chips.
Well, you know, I don't expect there to be kind of a brisk token recollection here. I think this is, you know, I wouldn't go entering Mr. Placey into any kind of speed stacking competitions, which is fair, and that's okay.
I would just savor the moment. You know?
Yeah.
Take your time. Put that little pile over there to the right.
If
Get
I
back
really
to
had
that.
a distaste for the person I beat in the pot, I would actually slow it down even further. Maybe kiss each individual chip before placing it atop the previous, one by one. Maintaining an uncomfortable degree of eye contact with my victim as well. I have these delusions, dude. I'm a really
Honestly,
sick pup.
I think that would be great for the game. I hope anyone that's listening right now takes that idea and runs with it. The next time you cool somebody off, aces versus kings, maybe slow roll them as well, and then every chip, give it a little smooch, stack it on top, wink at your opponent who you just destroyed.
We need a truly unapologetic villain out there. But when you say it's good for the game, I'm unclear as to whether or not it's the stacking itself or the ensuing right hook that I'm going to sustain in all likelihood.
Yeah, that's what I want to see the reaction. You know, what happens after the fact.
The reaction after limping with the 9-6 suited for Brandon Wilson was to call the raise from Dr. Jack, always in a bad way, and has flopped the gut shot on this monotone 10 high board. Neither party with a spade in hand. $230K, the announcement.
Is Wilson thinking about making a play? This type of texture. Monotone. Just a gut shot.
Nope. Nice C-bet there from the doctor, as he'll put a little runway and daylight to himself and Placey beyond that which existed prior. Well, not quite a runway, but certainly a walk of sorts, the one that these players take each day on their way to work. There's Javanni. Okay, we caught him mid-swig with the Fiji. Good to stay hydrated out here in the desert. I confess I didn't expect the red shorts when we got the zoom out. There's Dr. Jack. You know, those straps are adjustable. We can actually pull that backpack up a little higher. I like this. Placey, unbothered. There we go. Brandon knows how to rock a backpack properly. Looking swaggy. Zaki's like, I don't need no
What
stinking
was the
backpack.
little gesture there? Was that a WWE? So I don't know. There's
Maybe.
Cherish.
He might be at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And of course, the one person no longer in this Royal Rumble, Cherish Andrews. Queen's
Zach
here.
attack. Yeah.
455.
Rip City. 45 left back in case of emergency. Pocket fours under consideration for Wilson.
Oh, we might have a customer here.
Sevens. Wilson out of the way. I'm not sure if Placey has designs on the same response. Already in the big, getting a discount.
Zaki only started the hand with what, eight bigs? I think sevens. You just have to go with it. If Placey finds a fold, that would be heroic. Oh my God, he's putting sevens in the muck.
I
Zaki
mean,
is going to be sick when he
he's
sees
right.
this.
But I would feel cheated on the square if I was in Zaki's seat.
Wow.
That's wild. Well, Zaki, always happy to be collecting chips, but I think maybe a double was more in order. Well, I'm not ordering you to do so, but I am suggesting that you jump into free online poker with Play Poker Go. Grind ring games run deep in tourneys with no deposits, bots, or gimmicks, just pure authentic poker. Play Poker Go's also got special free rolls that run every hour on the half hour. Play now at playpokergo.com, available on web, iOS, and Android.
Opportunity to play with Debbie there, the gal in the photo.
You know,
I believe also the dealer, if you look closely at the image of that shot in the dealer
Yeah,
chair, is that where Debbie resides?
145.
Is that our
I
dealer?
don't know where she lives because she's not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ace
Dallas,
King,
I think.
Very real. You know, everything bigger on Debbie, I'll tell you that. 145 out of Brandon here, who is looking to recenter himself after the shell shock of kings into aces. Being up against an ace-10 is a good way to do so. As Pan flats. No further participants, so it's heads up in a 440K pot. $10-8 trade, Rainbow. Top pair for Pan.
Yeah, what a disaster for Wilson. Again, just running quite terrible.
Yeah. Hand's not over, but you see the 14% equity for Wilson. This is pretty poor. And I think when these bets come in, you know, Wilson had that spidey sense that tingled when Placey 4-bet jammed. I feel as though Dr. Jack firing in position after flat calling on the button here, we really don't expect ace-king to be best that often.
I mean, I think you're certainly in. Dr. Jack can have worse, no doubt, right? I mean, what's he doing if he has King Jack? Just knuckling? He's probably going to bet when check two.
7 on the turn. Wilson again checking.
This is really the street where you must decide if you believe the story or not. This type of texture, if Pan bets flop and again on turn, really tough to continue with ace-king.
350K. Somewhat troublesome, of course, is the fact that it's coming from a chip leader. But you would think if the chip leader wanted to get frisky against us, maybe more often as a 3-better pre than a flat caller and then all of a sudden start blasting away with no hand whatsoever. And yeah, Wilson tosses it. This is not the way he scripted his day.
I think he showed it too. Dr. Jack just showed Brandon Wilson the ace-10, and that's a great feeling if you're Wilson. A little bittersweet, right? You realize it was a bad beat, you got out-flopped, but you also made a correct fold.
I'll tell you, one of the issues, though, is you've allowed yourself to kind of range Dr. Jack's flats as well.
Yeah,
The
good luck
ace-10.
reading this guy, buddy.
Well, you know, you say that. I'm not suggesting the physical tell is the path. But, you know, If I show you I flat called the button as
Yeah.
a chip leader
Right.
with ace-10 off, that's something you know Brandon's going to be filing away. Pocket sixes on the puck for Placey, the man that let go of sevens in the big blind versus the Zaki jam. Preferring instead to do his own bidding, which he does. King Jack for Zaki, direct left.
$400.
And he chooses to 3-bet up to 400,000. Now that takes any luster that Javanni may have been sensing off of this King 9 suited. Into the bin it goes.
You know, there's this sort of mental part of the game, too, where Placey, does he feel like Zaki is after him? Yeah, this time stuffs it with the sixes, says, I've had enough.
You know, this is interesting. I don't think I expected this to be the reaction, but suddenly Placey ready to dance, a pip down from the pair he released. And Zaki does have chunky equity, 47%, the light side of the coin, but in a flippy spot here. And Florida man does not find it, as the St. Petersburg native trying not to get counted out of this one. The turn,
Hold on.
adding queens,
Anything will
Lot
do.
of odds.
and suddenly artwork will work for Zaki. 10 outer, not all available. And
Good luck, guys.
that 4 of diamonds, not the one. So GG's issued on a second occasion here in the event 5 final table, where Justin Zaki, the UCF professional poker player, has been dispatched. Add that 56K to his north of 7 million that he's earned over the course of his career.
That'll pay for the WrestleMania tickets.
Love it.
You have to expect that he's
He's
going.
He's going, yeah.
Other things going, including the event 6 action. Another 10K. See Brock Wilson there. Multitasking.
You got Nate Silver next to him as well.
Yeah, and that Tigers hat.
It's a loaded field. I guess it always is.
And it's been reloaded with Cherish Andrews. I guess a consolation cupcake has been.
She probably made those.
I'm guessing she did.
Yeah.
And she earned those. 282 points, which plant her at the top of the overall series standings. You see Brock, 271. The power couple indeed. Jeremy Osmus, Kristen Foxen, and Clemen Deng rounding out the top 5. 224 points available to your eventual champ.
Well, I bet they're having some nice dinners at night. You know, 1 and 2 on the leaderboard, winning all the money. That's at least good for PF Chang's.
I mean, why couldn't one of you just hit so I can
PF Chang's, you say, Brent?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that your idea? of
5-star
Chinese food?
cuisine.
No,
My kind of joint.
wrong. Here's the thing. Vegas is renowned. You know, Spring Mountain.
Yeah, there's like 6 PF Chang's out here.
No, stop. There's like a couple, I think. And by the way, you know, we would survive with 0. You know, no shade.
What?
I can understand why a palate such as yours would lean into PF Chang's, but there are some phenomenal Asian eateries up and down Spring Mountain, not far from where we are right now.
Spring Mountain. Wait, the parlors?
Yeah, not the parlors.
Did you say an Asian eatery?
Yeah, I don't know what you do at the massage spot. I'm not eating. Yeah, you're doing it wrong, I think. Just,
What's your favorite location on Spring Mountain? I'm food, you know, the sushi,
there's a low pro spot that's so legit that I don't even think they have English menus.
yeah.
called
Really?
New Asian Barbecue.
Oh.
And it's one of these live seafood places, and I don't love that. You know, I don't want to meet my food before, and I get everything dies.
So I do
before
at
we
Red
eat it.
Lobster.
See, they don't do that at Red Lobster. You don't get to walk up to the tank and be like, I'll take
No,
red over
I
there.
just did it with my son.
You actually went up to the tank
No,
and
the
picked
guy
the
did it
lobster?
for us. He pulled it out and
You
brought,
saw
he
it in a
he
fresh
brought
tank?
it to us. And,
See,
and
that I don't
yeah.
like at all.
yeah,
I don't want to meet the thing.
yeah.
You know, they did it to me at Pallet Tea House, where I ordered the crab. They put it on a plastic tray. They walked it over. I didn't know they did that there. And I was so traumatized by the unexpected, you know, the things floundering around. I hear the claws hitting the plastic. I'm like, you know what? I might not even want crab now. Like, I'm not into this. My girl really wanted crab, though. And she was like, no, babe, come on. Like, we came all the way out here. It was upsetting.
For 1.315.
All in from Wilson. Speaking of absurd, a big number, 1.3 to go.
I didn't say it was absurd, just upsetting.
Oh, I thought you said.
And by the way, upsetting, of course, for
Oh,
Dr. Jack.
Yeah.
6-7 suited might have otherwise had some interest.
So did you end up eating the crab?
I did, man.
Yeah.
I did. I just, you
I
know,
don't blame you. Tough one.
I don't love that.
Do they cook it enough until it's dead, or is it partially alive?
What are you suggesting? It's a warm bath? No, they do cook it.
I've seen a
to
lot
the
of
point
the
death.
Instagram videos where the food is still moving.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not into any of that. It's, you know, don't make the animals suffer if we can avoid it, please.
Well, I think I could be wrong, but you know, whether it's meat or seafood, I think the animal at some point is going to suffer. You know.
You know, obviously death is, I suspect, not pleasant. But, you know,
Yeah.
there are times where I've actually entertained it as being a more pleasant alternative to the session that I'm embroiled in out in the cash game
Yeah.
streets.
I
Where-
thought you were talking about your experience here in the booth today.
Actually, that's a very apropos observation. And indeed, if we continue down this path, perhaps death would be the more desirable alternative
Well,
to
trying
carrying
to
on
avoid
with you here.
death. Javanni, ace-4 of clubs. I think it's going all in, Ali, trying to survive.
All in.
Yep. Looking for life. Wow. Did everybody behind him have a 4? Placey doesn't give it much thought. Expect things to be somewhat cagey as Javanni continues to kind of languish in that 10 big blind territory. Wilson certainly not looking to get into a scuffle. I think Placey also might be less apt. And it is Pan, of course, who has the luxury of throwing the shackles on those two. Putting some ICM pressure. With the 20K ladder lurking. Wilson
180.
activating here. And I think he might be less inclined to do things such as this, as Javanni certainly could be inclined with an ace-10 suited, if it weren't specifically the player profiles of Dr. Jack and Placey that are the other two big stacks. Brent, I think they're going to wake up with real hands if they are heard from in the face
I
of the
agree.
open.
Yeah, I mean, this is just sort of Brennan Wilson, no matter who's at the table with these stack depths, you're just opening the king 10 and reluctantly folding whenever you do get played back at, which is happening here. And I don't think, yeah, there's just a quick fold. Annoying. You start to get frustrated if you're Wilson. It's been a really brutal final
I
table.
think she had 2 conversations. One for the last hand and one for this hand.
eventually you're hoping that some of those chips will come back to you with new friends when you deploy them. Well, if you're looking to sharpen your game, check out Octopi Poker, the all-in-one training platform built for serious players without a high price. From GTO tools to structured learning, it's everything you need to level up. Get 10% off annual plans with promo code USPO. Head to octopipoker.ai and start improving today.
This is like an Ace of Base song. I mean, what? Dun, 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 dun. All right, now I hit you with the seafood, Ali. Now I'm going to come to you with the big one.
Okay, but before we go any further, we both know it's not an Ace of Base song because, of course, that would require payment from us. It's a bootleg version,
Yeah.
a diluted, watered-down bit of EDM. Not that Ace of Base was EDM per se, but it's not actually that. This, however, is actually where we stand in terms of chips. The blinds, you can see, have sort of been watered down by the ascent to 40 and 80. At the blind level that we're playing right now, Dr. Jack on top, Placey, Wilson, and Javanni with two fallen comrades looking on from elsewhere in the room.
Now this one I'm getting down to. This has got sort of an MGMT kind of vibe. You're familiar with that?
Of course, yeah. Electric feel.
Uh-huh.
Love it.
Like that. All right, best steakhouse in Vegas. Ready?
Are you going first?
I'm going to ask you, because in my mind there's only two.
Well, I think-
Outback or Applebee's?
Yeah, see, that's just I guess you should have qualified it with like maximum price point or something. Because you're just not correct with either of those submissions. You know. By the way, Dr. Jack will tell you to take it easy on that steak, Brent, you know.
Well, some people, that's all they eat is, the
Well,
red
sure.
meat.
Do you get like an annual checkup?
No.
You don't do
Every
that?
decade or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might not make it to
You
that
know, we
next
talked-
decade. A clean bill of health 9 years ago is not a permanent diagnosis.
I haven't had a physical since I was 12.
Please.
I'm God's honest truth. I have no idea what type of shape I'm in. It can't be good.
Now, absent a degree in medicine, Brent, allow me to kind of speculate that shape is not great. That
Yeah.
you are in, between sort of the chain vaping and the, the Coke Zeros.
There's nothing really that bad with a crippling nicotine
1.29.
addiction from what I've read
Right.
and researched. But Wilson's going to go to work.
That's all you?
Yeah, 1.3.
Little posture from Pan. I've noticed this from the good doctor. Rather than just quickly fold, we have a little bit of a hand funeral. I can respect it. Maybe now, yeah.
You really are like just a human cola reservoir. It's sort of shocking the amount of soda that you're able to kind of take on.
Did you say a human cola reservoir?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is only my third. I think it's my third one. Coke Zero.
Right.
No calories. I got to watch the figure.
I had
Combined
a
with that
friend-
Ozempic.
I had a friend growing up that used to walk around school with a 2-liter. Like grape drink. And he died at 14, but no, he didn't. But I feel like you could maybe just grab a 2-liter.
I'd bring that style back. I mean, that was
Right.
a thing for a hot
Walking
minute.
around with a 2-liter was
Yeah,
a
you
thing.
just maybe throw it in the backpack. The Jan Sport.
Yeah. Well, throw the ace king in the jam sport on the button here. Javanni, 11 bigs. Maybe he wants to min raise and invite somebody. Nope. Too precious to take the blinds or find the double, and take the blinds he will as nothing surfaces elsewhere.
But in all seriousness, SW, is that your? Would you ever recommend it? No. What would you say is the top?
SW is not mine.
Really?
No.
Wow.
I think your sleeper pick
Yeah.
is Barry's Downtown Prime.
Oh, where's that?
Downtown. He is the former head chef from 9 Steakhouse at the Palms, which then became Scotch 80, went off and did his own thing. And it's at, what's Derek's joint? Circa.
Circa. So berries. Okay, we can't.
Yeah,
No
that's
free
the
ads,
sleeper.
of course.
That's
but,
the
all right.
sleeper.
Yeah.
Bizarre Meat, my dear friend Jose Andres, chef proprietor, moved from Sahara over to Venetian. Phenomenal. Worth checking out. More beaten path. I think Prime at Bellagio
I've actually been there.
is delicious.
Yeah, okay.
Solid, consistent. I like myself a little bit of Jean-Georges here at Aria. And then, honorable mention, by the way, Vinny Langham has brought back Boa Steakhouse, which used to be at the Forum Shops, I think, many moons ago, and now popping back up at the Venetian. So those are kind of my...
I know you're a food guy, so
Oh,
I
big
was
time.
very curious what you would recommend.
Well, curiosity. Also paying a visit to Dr. Jack, courtesy of Queen Jack suited, which smashes the ace-ace-queen board relative to the 8-9 suited that Javanni activated with. Action checked over. He may sense he's able to rep this board, but remember, a flat out of the small is not the same as a flat out of the big. Nevertheless, Anil makes the effort. 20% C-bet. Does have one heart to work with. Take it off the board. Pan proceeding cautiously, understandably.
Well, Javanni now deciding, let's activate once more. This is a tough sell. You bet the flop, and again on the turn. I suppose if we had an ace, we would do just this.
125.
Notice the sizing, too. Does it feel milky? The doctor is willing to find out.
Watch it.
This would be filthy, Ali. If he can empty the clip, bet all 3 streets, nothing but 9 high.
He has no clubs in his hand. It's not impossible that Dr. Jack has an ace, but maybe Javanni suspects that most of the aces he'd be willing to play might have fallen into the 3-bet camp. And now you have to consider how often is this man bluffing
250.
as he opened, bet 100, 125, and 250. This feels very milky, Brent.
Sure does. I am not loving my hand on the river if I'm Dr. Jack, but sometimes you just got to pay him the money. Not a huge size, which might pique my curiosity a bit more, but boy, it's hard to find too many bluffs. Outstanding by Javanni. Whoa. Shows it.
Ooh!
Hello.
Well, that's a very different vibe being brought.
About to wave the white flag.
Dr. Jack, I don't think like that medicine.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'd say he's ready for high-stakes poker. Getting busy like that.
I'll tell you what, that was a bit of an audition there.
Sure was.
Right?
Uh-huh.
If I'm trying to get on HSP, I'm sending you that hand and going, hey, I'm this dude, in case you forget.
It's amazing, too. You know, that pot for Javanni, that put Brandon Wilson at the bottom of the leaderboard. He is now the short stack amongst the final 4.
Of course, the cooler having the most to do with that. Placey, the beneficiary, now with the king-queen suited in the small. Comes with a call against Doc. Javanni will sit this one out. Broadway combos. Going to pay a visit to the flop. 500 in the middle.
Uh-oh.
Along with both an ace and a queen. Top pair versus middle pair. Advantage Pan.
Yep, giddy up. We got action. If Pan starts off with the betting, Placey's certainly going to be doing some calling, at least on the flop. Here we go.
$170 a man, bringing the pot to 840.
Boom.
And a second queen on the board. Now putting Placey in front. Note their stacks, Brent, roughly level. And Pan a little bit wounded by what took place against Javanni a moment ago. Unclear how much of an appetite for the muck he may have.
Well, look at this, and Placey is going to lead right into the doctor.
I like
Sizable.
it. I like it.
Pan out of his seat. He does not like it. That card, he hates it. And to your point, Ali, maybe a bit of frustration. Now you just got shown a big bluff. You don't want to get pushed around.
Yeah, you can't fold to this 450. You've got to make this call, but now the decision once again on the river is going to be placed onto the shoulders of Dr. Jack by Placey. How greedy will he get? Oh, he's reaching for the big stuff. 800. You know, this is generous in terms of sizing. Now, against the ace-10 specifically, maybe this is appropriate, but you understand that it cuts two ways when you size up, where we polarize. On this particular board, though, it's not as though a backdoor flush draw showed up on the turn where he's semi-bluffing it along with a Broadway combo. This is just, I have the queen or I don't at this point. Better aces than ace-10, I don't think play it this way.
Nope. I don't know. You know, Pan's questioning exactly that. Can Placey have a bluff here? Can he have a hand like King Jack? And a very nice laydown from Pan. It's hard to do, especially you were just shown a bluff a moment ago to make a big fold. First final table for Peter Placey. And he is putting on a show. Our chip leader approaching nearly half the chips in play.
That eagle looks like it may have found itself a nest. Certainly if Placey has anything to do with it. Wilson still showing fight. Ace 10 suited, he had higher hopes for a little bit of action.
What's up, everybody out there in the chat? Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, whether you're on our YouTube channel, if you're watching on PokerGo on a device, or perhaps out there on one of our other channels. Placey again with aces. What a heater.
This is remarkable.
$200,000.
Oh, look at Javanni. He's thinking devious thoughts here with the ace-5 off. Oh, boy. Oh.
Wow. There's been some bullet dodging out here. Not that the ace-5 off was... Especially when it's Placey putting chips in. I don't care if he's the big leader or not. It's just... It carries extra gravity. I just don't feel like this guy's light that often.
What's up, Keith Kemper out there? Gustav. Hello, Christy. Mr. Nice Guy Rye. Brent, say hello specifically to me. Well, there you have it. Where is Platt? Well, I fired him.
Did you?
I think that'll be the news story.
I don't think you fired him.
No. He
I don't
took
think that
a
happened.
giant bag of cash and he left us for another entity.
Now, how do you know that it was a giant bag of cash?
Just massive.
How do you know he just hadn't had his fill of you?
No, definitely not that, because he told me. Yeah,
Okay,
just a
well.
massive. Yeah, he's
There it
very
is.
rich now. He was always rich. Now he's,
Right.
pretty much like Elon Musk wealth.
Yeah, if that's available, I would like to take the under.
Yeah.
For whatever you would allow. I think, honestly, if one could get paid for exaggeration, you, too, could be wealthy.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I think now with my new role, don't I just
You
get
can be
to
the president, actually. I mean, you can
pay
really
myself?
run a campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could actually bilk the company.
Right.
You could do all sorts of crazy
Well, that's a
stuff.
great idea.
You know what I mean?
Why didn't I think of that?
That'd be great.
Wow.
It's almost like no real CEO these days doesn't have some sort of blemish of fund embezzlement, an episode of...
A lot of scandals out there, right?
What's that CNBC show, American Greed? We can
I
get
don't
you
know
on an
about
episode
that.
of that.
I thought CNBC was like, stocks and stuff. I
Yeah, but
don't
they
know
have
what's
this
happening
show called American Greed that's about, people that are doing the thing that you were thinking about doing. Meanwhile, let's see what kind of thoughts Javanni has.
Yeah, he's going to do a thing.
Ace, 8 of clubs. Comes with a flat. Performing well against Dr. Jack's ace 4. 7, 9, 10 monotone. An open ender for Javanni, but the only flush draw belongs to Pan, who does peek back to recognize the presence of the spade. $200K follow through. Queen of spades on the turn as Javanni's ace 8 now wilts. Not that it was in full bloom on the flop. Oh, is he? Look at this. Flatting pre, check calling post, and then spadeless. He speaks first for a quarter milli.
Whoa.
And if you're Dr. Jack, you really don't ever expect this man to do this with shy of the 4 of spades.
No, you don't. And in another agonizing, brutal spot, I think he might fold once more. Look at this.
Want to see it?
Oh, he did it to him again, Brent.
Wow.
You know,
All right,
we
no
got
more.
another.
Wrong color.
We got another submission for the high stakes poker considerations. By
This
the way.
guy's great.
Like this guy, Anil Jivani. $16 cashes at the World Series of Poker This is third ever PGT cash, first U.S. Poker Open cash, and final table by proxy. Made the decision to come out and compete. Begged his wife for the opportunity to battle it out against the best in the game, and she said yes, despite the fact that they've got that newborn at home along with 4 other children, showing her support to Anil.
Well, they got to be tuning in, right? I mean, putting on a show out here, made the final table. Love to see it.
Either that or packing up and you know, moving out, just based on the decision. But no, come on. She supported him. Anil, very much a family man. Well, play the U.S. Poker Open online, running now through April 26th. Get in on the action with daily tourneys, big guarantees, and the chance to win a Vegas prize package. You don't want to miss it. Play the U.S. Poker Open online at globalpoker.com. You know, Anil lives in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for a little while.
Really? When did
lived
you
in
live in Atlanta?
Midtown when I was working for CNN.
Wow.
It was Midtown at the Lowe's Hotel Residences.
Lowe's like the where I get lawnmower
LOEWS.
stuff?
Like, no, not that Lowe's. There's not like condos above the home improvement store.
Well, an improvement for Wilson. Ace King suited. We'll get back to you and mowing your lawn in a moment, Ali.
240.
240.
Doesn't look like any action.
Tell you what, he got that walk with ace-10 suited.
Yeah.
His kings got showered. Now he's probably just going to snack on 2 bigs here. Yep. It's strangely frustrating, even though he is winning a pot.
You know, one of the worst investments I made out here. Thinking I'll buy this beautiful lawnmower and then I'll maybe start a company and get out there and do some landscaping.
Was this
I
recent?
grew up mowing lawns. No. A couple months ago.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Turns out, you know, not a lot of grass here in Vegas.
Less and less as time goes on.
Right.
They'll pay you to pull out your grass and throw in the artificial turf.
Really? Yeah, a lot of people have turf. We have turf. I can't even use the lawnmower at my own house.
Yeah, but you can't even use the turf when it gets hot during the summer. You get out there barefoot and it's the sizzle.
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
No good.
Yeah. Huh. You ever try cooking out there when it's so hot? Right on the pavement?
I have a stove for that. And pots and pans, believe it or not. Brent?
Oh, it's quite an experience.
I can imagine it is. One that I shan't be partaking in.
The eggs taste a little funny
Yeah.
on the hood of your car. Payouts brought to you by Poker News. 224,000 all the way up at the top. Clearly 4 remain. And we are being led by that fella a moment ago, Peter Placey.
Well, first is not the place that he was in when we embarked upon this journey. That was Brandon Wilson's honor. And with ace-5 suited, he's just going to rip. Oh, same kit for Javanni.
A lot easier to just shove, as Wilson did, and brutal when you call it off with ace-5. You sort of want to avoid these scenarios. Too many chips. For whatever reason, Javanni's got the sniff, thinking, buddy, I think you're light.
Just trying to figure out what portion of Wilson's all-in range am I beating, and how am I performing against the rest?
Oh, man, I feel like you're full of it. Oh, my God. Oh, you heard that, right, Ace? He doesn't believe him.
Well, things are unlikely to be dramatic if he does click call.
Time extension.
And into the bin he goes. So
I
Wilson
feel like that's a bad fold. Big fold?
pummeling.
Suited ace.
Whoa, what was that? Mum's the word from Wilson, of course.
Yeah.
And, you know, for a man that doesn't play poker professionally, decisions in situations like that, obviously not commonplace, whereas Brandon is making them multiple times a day when he's out there, either rehearsing or playing online or in a studio situation. Conversely, if Wilson was presented with a decision on what zip code to go buying up lots in for development, I would imagine he may also have similar challenges, whereas Anil, he'd be quite comfortable.
That's his
with those
wheelhouse.
decisions. Yeah. By the way, that can be a very fruitful wheelhouse.
Real estate?
Real estate streets. Yeah, but when, you know, some people are throwing around the R word, recession, maybe coming around the corner or something like that, if that happens.
Oh, that's your version of
then,
the R word.
Then real estate, you know, yeah, it is. It is. King 5 tray here. Clubs versus top pair. Blind versus blind. Limp pot pre. Javanni takes a swing here. And by the way, this is also a pair to go with the flush draw. Importantly for Wilson, the offsuit 8 would be a real fire starter.
Yeah, what does Wilson want to do? I like this. Begin with just call in position. Quite under-repped whenever you have the pair flush draw.
Thought that was an 8 territory. Instead, it's the 9.
And you're really just not folding turn. I mean, unless Javanni pile drives it in. But like this type of price, you're there. You're home.
Engaged.
Assume we just call once more, but maybe Wilson has other plans. Just carefully weighing those options. It looks like a call, in fact, confirmed.
440 more into the middle. And that is not what Brandon Wilson had in mind.
Isn't that brutal? It's been that kind of day for Wilson. Came in with all the chips and just cooler after cooler. Can't make a hand. Kings into aces. Now we got the pair flush draw. Can't get there. It's amazing he's still in, to be perfectly honest. Still fighting and a chance to win this tournament. I don't think anything has gone right for Wilson.
I'll tell you what, it could have gone a lot worse if he got aggressive. But I agree with you, Brent. This has been the FT of doom for the oh-so-talented Brandon Wilson.
Sometimes it's like that.
You know, he doesn't show a ton of emotion at the table. In fact, one of the things that I admire the most about him since he came on the scene is just kind of the beyond his years poise that he shows. I've used that word on multiple occasions in reference to Brandon. And I won't soon stop when he continues to just demonstrate his unflappability. Did, of course, literally collapse after he was shown the aces versus the kings, but that was an understandable one. Also understandable, this 200K from Placey. And
10 seconds.
in turn, the fold with an 8-3 off from the big of Dr. Jack. So Wilson, very much the man in the on-deck circle. North of 10 bigs, but not by a ton.
Okay.
Ace king suited, pretty one here for Javanni.
200,000.
No joy. Yes, he took it to 200. The merry-go-round continues. You know what else continues? Our relationship with the folks over at Blue Chew Gold.
Oh, boy. You know what? If
Brent.
the kids are watching back at home, good time to put the earmuffs on because this segment is about to get very hard for the two of us in the booth, Ali.
Not for the two of us.
Blue Chew Gold. Go all in all night.
I thought maybe you would have leaned into the relationship
1.165.
setup, kind of, and been like, if you're looking to improve your relationship, Blue Chew Gold, that was the low-hanging fruit for you there, Brent. But I see you went a different direction there. In retrospect, you're awash with the recognition that that was a real miss on your part. And that's okay.
I'm not going to lie. I think I nailed it.
Is that
Does
is that
Blue
what
Chew-
people say after they?
Here's a note
They have
from
a
the
Blue
back.
Chew?
This is for you, Ellie. Does Blue Chew cause low-hanging fruit?
No, I actually think it does quite the opposite. If your banana's inverted, I think it sends it northbound toward Polaris, if you will. I don't know for a fact, you know. And I think it's allowed for me not to be a consumer of our sponsor products. Although we had that beef jerky
Yeah.
that you had piled up in the corner over here.
Think
I'm
jerky.
sad that it's all gone because I actually
Is it
went
under the
through-
table?
I
Is
don't
it
know,
there?
is it?
No, I don't know.
I
Maybe
grabbed
we
it.
ate it all.
I grabbed a box of it last time. Did we eat it all?
No, you know what? It's probably out there for the players, for the USPO.
Cool.
Speaking of players, Anil Jivani is very much emerged as one at this FT, limping an ace-jack. Wilson with fours now. Is it a candidate?
All in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
he does
going
jam,
north.
and I think Giovanni's limp was always with the intention of inducing something like this. So Wilson at risk. Can
Yes, they
something
are.
finally go his way?
10 seconds.
5% equity favorite. Check that. 7%. Math is hard. Don't look at me with a Blue Chew promo. I saw that.
Oh,
Ace
boy.
9-8. And things going from bad to worse on the day for Brandon Wilson. Written all over his face here. The recognition
Well,
that
hold on.
fours were needed. Now spades would do the trick as well as 2 outs become 11. Rays of hope beaming upon the 2.65 in the middle. Can the ship list back toward Wilson? No. And this is not something that anyone would have expected at the onset of this event where Brandon Wilson had a massive
No, I'm talking about one
3.6
time in
million
a poker
in front
tournament
of him.
in
A
life.
distant
time
second
hold
was
up.
Dr.
Yeah,
Jack.
one time, just hold up.
But the only distance to be focused on for the moment is that which is being placed between Brandon Wilson and this FT.
You know-
$76,000 going home with him. Talk to me, Brent.
This is incredible, right? I mean, we're here at event number 4.
5.
Event number 5 at the U.S. Poker Open. We had the outright points leader, Cherish Andrews, at this final table.
6th.
Brandon Wilson, one of the rising stars, and everybody less. 2 of the remaining 3. This is their first final table ever at the PGT.
Wow.
Amazing.
They're looking to make it even more memorable than it already has been. Peter Placey still atop the board. Javanni, you know, he came in with just 705,000. Look at him now. 3.5 million. Good for 44 bigs. Three-handed action.
All the great pros out here in Vegas, the pros that traveled the world to play at the U.S. Poker Open, our final 3, not one of them by trade. is a professional poker player. This is incredible.
Okay, with that said, though, I think you have to kind of tip your hat toward Dr. Jack in that regard.
And
in
I'm glad
terms of,
that you did mention that. Yeah.
professional disposition about his business.
Dr. Jack has had a sensational start to 2026. Really made his mark at the first major this year at the PokerGO Cup, and he's back for more here at the U.S. Poker Open. Is our short stack, though, Ali?
Yeah. 1.7. That is good for north of 20 bigs, so not exactly any panic. But a lesser seen sight is the presence of 3 combatants in the arena, the remains of an 80 entry field here in event number 5, none of whom play professionally, as you pointed out, Brent. Javanni's going to head to the break early. Pan's going to head north with the suited connector. See if Placey's got anything of interest. Nope, that's not going to cut it. As Queen Deuce gets binned, and 1 frame in the books here at event 5. The original field of 6 paired in half, 23 bigs, plays 44 and 57. As Brent and I step aside ever so briefly, back in about 30 seconds with more from the USPO.
Want to play online poker for free? With PlayPokerGo, you get the thrill of authentic poker anytime, anywhere. From quick casual games to action-packed tournaments, PlayPokerGo lets you compete against real players around the globe, all for free. No bots, no gimmicks, just pure poker fun. Hone your skills and enjoy the poker experience you love. Explore PlayPokerGo on web, iOS, and Android. Deal yourself in now.
Welcome back to event 5 of the U.S. Poker Open, presented by Global Poker. Ali Nejad and Brent Hanks here with you, and here with 3 recreational players playing level 21. 50, 100, and 100. 250K every 3 hands, the price of poker. And in terms of things to be on the lookout for, I wonder whether or not Javanni, who has shown the most frisk, is going to recognize a potential opportunity to get aggressive here versus opponents that he thinks are tighter than average and begin to accumulate. He's facing a raise from Placey, ace-6, suited queen in the big. He is going to defend.
I'm with you, Ali. Javanni thus far has been the most aggro type of player at this final table. He gets out of line often.
And he's flopped himself a flush draw on a king 9-9 board. This is where I'm not entirely clear on what kind of appetite Placey has, and you see him immediately come off the throttle. Ace of Hearts works. And I think with this opening, Javanni is going to seize initiative, and sure enough, in comes some yellow and some purple to the tune of 350K into 500.
Placey with that ace of hearts, I don't know if he wants to take the ride, but I certainly would understand a call. Just the value and power of ace high could absolutely still be the best hand. He's out though. You know, let's see another board, another hand, another flop.
But that right there supports kind of what I suspect, Brent.
Good flop for me.
Is that Javanni really has the table set to begin to, at least until he encounters resistance and the boys are onto the scent, start to VPIP, start to get after them. 3 bets, opens, floats, all of the above.
You would think so. He's kind of feeling it out there. He knows he's getting away with a lot of mischief. Well, Peter Placey picked a pair.
How long you been hip pocketing that one, Brent?
Just came to me right now.
Did it. Pocket threes. Upstairs we go. Hard 6 takes it to 250. Queen deuce of hearts for Pan now in the big. And unlike Javanni before him, Pan with no appetite for defense, and a modest pickup there for Mr. Placey, who was kind enough to pay a visit to us prior to when play began. Let's check in.
Yeah.
See what his thoughts were coming into this final table.
Poker is not less stressful than my business life. So, yeah, it's just a form of relaxation and recreation, 100%. I'm very grateful that I have a good business that can, pay the bills. Yeah, I just enjoy the challenge of it. I think that my biggest struggle is just patience. I mean, looking at because I'm doing this for fun, and to just sit there, 2-4, 2-6, it gets to me after a while, and I end up playing, much looser than I should be. As I've gotten older, I think I've found a little bit more patience, but so we'll see.
Well, he said it's not less stressful, implying that it's more I think the point that he's making is that his career is more stressful than poker is.
Yeah,
he's saying it's relaxation, it's an escape.
You don't hear that from the professional poker player point of view. They're a lot of those guys are out there just
and
they're
by the
dead
way,
inside, Ollie.
How much of that would we have heard from Placey if he had been showered level 1 and was like, multiple bullets deep? Instead, he's at the FT running aces into kings.
It is refreshing, when you have a guy like Placey and Javanni. Poker's a hobby for them. They're not trying to make a living. They're out here having fun.
And you know what's interesting is I remember when I think back to the, earliest moments of, my journey into poker, not as a broadcaster, but just as a player, which I continue to be today.
Oh, okay.
I miss those days. There's an enviable kind of unencumbered opportunity that you have to play the game from that perspective. Sometimes the ignorance is such bliss. And I'm not alleging ignorance. Clearly they know how to navigate. But you know what I mean. They're not out there in the solver streets. They're just having a good time. And it is, as you pointed out, refreshing to see. The refreshments on offer for Dr. Pan. Backdoor spades and an open-ender here after he did raise this 10-6 suited. Javanni does have a gut shot, but 7-8 into the bin.
Hit me, Ollie.
Jump into free online poker with PokerGO. Grind ring games and run deep in tourneys with no deposits, bots, or gimmicks, just pure authentic poker. PokerGO also has special free rolls that run every hour on the half. Play now at playpokergo.com, available on web, iOS, and Android. Go ahead, Brent. This is generally where you come up with a false name for the cartoon.
No, that's Sally with that satchel of chips right there. She's in the game.
Sally Satchels?
Yeah. Yeah.
You really, you're one of these anime guys. You on the subway in Japan reading, cartoon smut? Is that?
God, you think I've ever been on a subway in Japan?
But that's a cultural thing, just so you know. And it's.
What is anime? Is that? Well, give me a.
It's just Japanese cartoons, effectively.
Like what's an example?
Like Sailor Moon or like
what? What is that?
No, like Akira or.
What?
Yeah.
I think you're the anime guy.
No,
What
I'm
are
not.
these shows?
I'm really not, dude. I'm not.
Is Pokemon? That's not anime, right? Or is it? I'm being told
it
that
qualifies.
it is.
Producer Layla.
Yeah.
Stepping into. Did we just get a gratuitous
Why did
eagle?
you say that it's smut? I mean, Pokemon's for
No.
children.
Well, there's different variants of anime, and one of the subgenres is that, and the way in which you and Sally Satchels
they make
have made off.
a provocative.
Yes, and I'm not. Don't look at me. I'm not in those streets.
Well, you know about it.
I'm not. Yeah, I know about a lot.
I
of
don't
things,
know about
Brent.
it.
My eyes and ears are open. but sometimes I shut them when I don't like what I see. So, for what it's worth. Meanwhile, Javanni, look at this, liking what he sees with Queen 3 offsuit.
Yeah, he's getting after it. You said this right away. You know, when we got three-handed, Javanni's the guy to keep an eye on. He will be the most active.
I think the more positive reinforcement he gets when he sticks his neck out a little bit in that fashion, understanding that Placey and Pan are likely to be more snug than he is, the more he's going to carry on. That's just good business. Mucked to Placey small. Jack 8 off.
10 seconds.
Sort of a begrudged limp from Placey. 8-5 off for Javanni. Knuckles back. Oh, but he does find his side card for middle pair on a 10-eye board. Fortunate for the previously dominated Javanni. Hopping into the lead. Placey with a check. Case closed. 3.6 plus now in front of Javanni, narrowing that gap with Placey rather quickly. And that gap will be further narrowed by the ever-escalating blinds, of course. So he legit asked you to be on high-stakes poker, Brent. He pulled you aside and he was like, hey, listen, man, I got to play that show.
Yeah, he actually reached out to Kerry Katz. They were at the same table. Said, yeah, I'd love to play on high-stakes poker. Kerry called me out there. I went over, shook his hand, met him, got the info, and said, all right, let's make it happen.
Love that.
Get this guy in the game.
I mean, listen, if for no other reason than the fact that he's going to fit right on in with the action, but also what a dream opportunity to be a part of one of the most legendary broadcasts in the history of televised poker and play with legends of entertainment and poker in a really relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good on him for taking the initiative, by the way. Did not take initiative pre-flop here despite having an ace, limping. Doc checking back. Backdoor diamonds and queen high here. Okay, now we're seeing perhaps some grease on the wheels. Javanni does not hesitate to peel on this paired flop. Disappointing for the queen 4. Gut shot acquired for the ace 8. Once again, a quick check. King on the end is Doc's appetite for the bluff suppressed on the turn. Yeah, I may think queen high has Scotia showdown. Not this time, of course. And Javanni continues to win a disproportionate number of the pots since the onset of three-handed play, playing more of them and playing them well. Is Anil.
He's knocking on the door. Just about chip lead for Javanni.
You know, I can't. I'm 48. I got 0 kids. This dude's 42 with 5.
Yeah.
Happens
only, you know.
You're not even really giving a whole lot of time to the oven to cool off. It's just bun after bun. That's you know, that's at a certain point it becomes work.
No, it's work. Well, going to be 44 with 3. I assure you, it's work.
Yeah, we're in violent agreement.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
It's all that blue chew.
I don't know. I don't allege such things. Could be just an au naturel.
No, for me, I'm saying,
Yes, I could see how you would need copious amounts of, dysfunction medicine to kind of rally your soldier. Maybe go get a physical, Brent. I'm just saying. 2s, 3, 5, and a couple of hearts.
Well, this hand might get physical. Both players open-ended, but Javanni with the wired sailboats. And look at Placey with the backdoor clubs cooking.
He did defend against that min raise.
10 seconds.
Is he thinking about leading?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh boy, and this is
275.
not cute in terms of the sizing. 275. You see Javanni looking over. I think he really doesn't suspect that Placey is ever putting this 275 out there without something. Now, granted, this is on the lower end of the somethings. But it's just never air. So, cautious call from Javanni. And is this enough to keep Placey reaching into his stack? Backdoor flush draw acquired. Still no pair.
Well, he has got a very heavy hand now. A massive draw. May we see now a massive pot.
Boy, a lot of physicality on Placey, by the way, here on the turn. I'm not sure how much of this is being absorbed by Javanni, but from this vantage point, not sure what the baseline is. That's a man that was impacted by that card and this spot. Time extension utilized. Smooth Millie near full pot now from Placey. Now Javanni knows that he's never drawing dead with 4s here. He also blocks the possibility that Placey has ace-4, or for that matter 4-6, which of course we're less inclined to imagine him holding.
We haven't seen Placey out of line. He's using that image so well with this type of combo draw.
Well, he's not simply image leveraging, but just the sheer value of a queen-4 of clubs here also lending to the choice. And now Javanni showing his discomfort.
I have a feeling you have it.
10 seconds.
I don't blame him for having that feeling.
He kind of did have it.
Yeah,
Can we
but he
rabbit
had a
hunt?
lot of it.
Can we just, I'd like to see
That's
the
a bad fold, but
A little rabbit hunt for giggles. Yeah, if it's a brick
One
on
left,
the
right?
end,
And no more, right?
you think Placey brings the third shell?
I would think so. You got to empty the clip.
Do you?
I mean,
we thought you got a call with
Yeah.
7s earlier.
there's hearts out there. I know you've got clubs. You put a lot of hands in hell.
Yeah, I hear you, man, but everybody's built different. Now the difference between Placey and Javanni broadened once more. Tens. Perhaps the rewards from the poker gods for the aggression that he showed in the prior altercation.
250.
250 declared.
Ali, we got to give a shout out. fella named Papa Joe is tuning in. I was just sent a text message to say hello to Papa Joe, who apparently his favorite part of the show when you and I riff about Blue Chew.
Really?
So, there you have it, Papa Joe. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm not sure what to make of that, because I'd like to believe that we do bring enough entertainment beyond the borders of a Blue Chew promo to perhaps identify that as a stronger aspect. But nevertheless, compliment, always welcome and taken. Thank you.
Yeah. You ever had a sloppy Joe?
Is this one of those, bedroom euphemisms? Or
No,
is
no, a
just
sloppy
the actual.
Joe. Yeah, the sandwich. You ever had one of those?
Yeah, well, they
Sandler
tried to
does
feed
a
it to
song,
me
right?
in elementary school, and I confess I wouldn't eat on Sloppy Joe
You
Day.
didn't like sloppy Joes as a kid?
No.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I was fancy early.
You were born a 5-star Michelin guy.
Well, first off, it's 3-star.
Oh,
but-
it's
but-
only 3.
Yeah, that's the most. But no, I wasn't born that way. In fact, I used to cook up hot dogs on the gas stove, like just directly on the thing. So I have, but I'm just saying, I didn't do the sloppy joes. Where were you going with this?
I was just curious.
No,
Papa
surely,
Joe,
come on.
then I went into sloppy Joe territory.
I see.
Brought back memories of just pounding sloppy Joes.
You have no idea how deeply important it was to me to know that there was connective tissue that brought you to that question. Absent Papa Joe, it would have been a real psych evaluation that I would have been demanding. Look at this. Jack Pan, 3.3 is average start, but underperforming with a finish of 4.7. When he gets into these spots, Octopi Poker bringing us the luck stat, basically. 11% of the time, chip leading and is all in equity. Basically dead 50% at 49.6. Here he is making it 2 1/4 on the button. Javanni. Ace deuce defense. Top pair. Smashing this flop is Pan. Check fold in the face of the C-bet.
I almost pushed you pre-flop.
I hate to say it, and obviously
Two kings or king?
it's
No, king jack.
not impossible that gear shifts take place, but Brent, I feel like the deck is going to have a lot to do with how this one shakes out. Not that it doesn't play a part in general, but you know where I'm coming from where I say this.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of big hand collisions in order to
This is mine, right?
get the business done here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Going to take a cooler or 3.
Right. This is kind of akin to an adult film that has too much storyline. Can we get to the, what I'm here for?
Yeah.
And it's not the dialogue. So let's.
Great acting.
But I'm saying it's not, though. Ace queen suited, raise and take. If there are any adult film producers out there watching the stream right now, by the way, just don't pretend that you don't know. Nobody is here for the script or the story. You're not going to win an Oscar, okay? No one, we don't need, the Pirates have got, no one cares.
Hello,
okay?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
I've come to fix your cable.
Yeah, no. By the way, she shouldn't have the cable. Just in that one. Other way around, I think, Brent.
You want me to check the plumbing while I'm here?
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe you stay away from that vertical, within the entertainment
Might be
industry.
a great screenwriter.
Yeah, I know. I think, yeah. No, most certainly I could see you being a top tier. Just, script writer for adult film.
You know what? I'll start my own company called Only Brent.
Yes.
And that'll be
the only person watching whatever you produce.
Yeah, that's fine.
You've really knocked it out of the
Inspired
park.
by Blue Chew Gold, where we're all in, all night. And we might be here all night, Ali. So you might want to rip open one of those gold packs.
What I
take
need
a couple
one for,
down.
Brent? I'm in a booth with you.
Yeah, but the blood flow. You want to make sure that you're functioning, all parts.
I promise you, the number of occasions on which you take us down some really wretched path, it gets my heart racing adequately.
Oh, that'll do it as well. The gold.
Yeah, but I don't need the gold, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the quest for gold with Jack 6 suited, here's the good doctor. Placey has his pulse heightened by the ace 9. An immediate fold from Javanni with the suited ace of his own, and I think Pan knows it's flatline for his hand.
Yeah, the Pan man into the muck.
Now, the 4-bet bluff there would have caused me to reconsider all of the assessments that I've submitted to this point on the day.
What is this company? This is the third player I've seen wearing a hat that says Alo.
Uh-huh.
What
You
is
really
that?
don't know what it is?
No, is it
It's
like
active wear.
It's a lotion?
It's not a lotion.
Aloe vera?
It's not that. But here's the wildest thing. You knew that. Right. See, Brent does this thing where he tries to pretend to be an actual lower primate. But he is, in fact, just human.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said about me.
Yeah. And by the way, I could retract it at any moment. So just careful. But, you are smarter than you let on. The little aloe bit there. You know that. Anyway.
Lovely apparel. I like the hats.
Javanni limp folding. It's Dr. Jack. Raised it up with the Jack 10 offsuit. Maybe you pay the bills. After all, this is your favorite.
Yeah, come
promo.
on down to the shop, baby. Rep the best game. Or wait, I don't know even what I'm saying on this one. Come buy hoodies. High stakes poker, no gamble, no future. There's a code, USPO26. Get 15% off your order. Shop.pokergo.com. Ali, the entire store, 15% off.
Strong.
It's like a flash sale. Is that what we call it? A flasher?
Not a flasher.
A streaker? No, wait a minute. It's just a flash sale. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really, I think I'm just, maybe I do the promos from here on out, Brent, But practice makes, I'm not going to say perfect, but it makes, It makes that sort of thing come out of your mouth. 9-7 suited. The doc made it 250 to go. 9-8 for Placey. Both with the bad side of the gutter. And, Jack has really been on his feet to ensure that he gets a good look at these boards on more than one occasion.
I think the tables are like 12 feet across.
No, they're very large tables. There's no
Massive.
question about that. But also lens crafters.
Yeah.
It's allowed. We've never figured out what the MTFV is, right?
Oh, I didn't even notice I thought it was an MTV hat this whole time.
No.
There's an F in there.
Yeah. Now, if it was MFTV, I would have a hunch. But MTFV, I really don't. Maybe someone in chat? Anybody there know? Is it monkey tilt related?
No, I
the
just
first
think
two
that
are MT.
we're going to see monkey tilt on the wall
I
back
know,
here.
but
yeah.
I'm just saying, could it?
You think it's
could
a
it
monkey
maybe-
tilt hat that he's wearing? Kind of a retro, old
Monkey
school?
tilt for value? I don't like. I'm just, throwing some things at the wall here. I don't think any sticking. But suited one gapper. Doc does seem like he's bringing a gear shift.
He's ready to get after it, yeah.
He is the shortest stack, though.
10 seconds.
Queen 9 will defend. King 8-4 rainbow. Air balls all around. C-bet and take it for the doctor. 4 clubs. What he was focused on. Did have himself a gut shot.
Oh boy.
MTFV.
Nobody's had even a guess out there in the
Not
chat.
one attempt at what this could mean.
Have you
And
Googled
did you
it?
notice it's not even centered? Like there's that line down the hat. The lettering's off to the side of it. It is, I like it, whatever's going on there. But what does it mean, Doctor?
When I type in MTFV,
Careful.
there's Montana Families for Vaccines. Now, this kind of lends into the medicine part, right? But then there's also there's also an about page of what seems to be a defunct crypto. So, not sure.
Can we go back to the Montana one? Hold on. Placey's got 2 10s.
Upstairs will go.
325.
Speaking of which, 75, 125 are the blinds. 3 1/4 the sizing as opposed to 250. No patrons.
Now, I believe I have discovered it. I think MTFV most commonly refers to Music Therapy for Veterans, which is a
Really?
nonprofit established in 2013. So maybe that.
I mean, that would be wonderful. If indeed, on Instagram, there's this guy who goes out and plays his guitar for all sorts of animals. You seen this dude? He'll just put a chair outside of a pasture, and then all of a sudden 50 cows show up, and they're just fascinated and listening to him play his acoustic guitar.
That's one way to find an audience.
The elephants come around the piano and love it.
Wow.
It's really good. The other day I saw him with some lionesses. Now, granted, this was not an open air interaction. There was some fencing, but they too loved it. So music therapy, I'm into it.
Little
Also,
therapy here.
yeah, into these 2 9s could be Placey. 1 pot removed from the 10s. Javanni's ace-8 suited upstairs on the puck.
All in.
All in.
Yep.
All in.
Decides to 3-bet rip it over Javanni.
I like it. Put him to the test. Right around 20 bigs to start the hand for Javanni. He's sick about it. He loves these suited aces.
He just doesn't love a Placey all-in 3-bet. How well is the ace-8 suited doing against this man's range?
I think he called. He called it off.
And he ain't doing so great. Just 32% equity. I'm a bit surprised because we saw him fold an ace-5 suited to Brandon Wilson earlier. And I think he'd rather be the aggressor in a spot such as this.
He wants to gamble right here, right now.
Well, listen, you can't just sit around forever and allow the blinds to gobble you up. You do need to pick a spot. I don't know if this was the one with a stack of nearly 20 bigs. 1 spade out there on a 10 high flop. The 9s improving their equity. Javanni hunts the ace for the time being. And that continues to be the only option. Take the ace of diamonds off the board. 2 outs once for Anil Jivani. He's driven so much of this action, but the drive comes to an end as he winds up with 8s versus a flush. And Anil gets a couple of fist bumps and some GGs, but he will not get any further than a 3rd place finish and $104,000.
Career best score for Anil Jivani. A top 3 finish here at the U.S. Poker Open. Well
Yeah,
done.
Managed that 28K ladder after Wilson was out in 4th, and now a 40K ladder enjoyed by Dr. Jack and Peter Placey, who will square off for an 80K differential between 2nd and 1st. Brent and I are going to step aside for about 5 minutes, but we'll be back shortly with heads-up action from the USPO.
It is a new time. It is a new chapter. We are here live in the brand new PokerGO campus. No gamble, no future. Hanks, myself, and the face of FS1, Nick Wright, are going to bring to all of you the best poker show, combining poker, combining sports, and sports cards.
Let's get to work.
What the hell is combining all 3 industries to create the best poker show on planet Earth? Thank you.
Chicago, a Northwestern journalism major, and I can't remember if you were with me when we unearthed
Stay out for the whole series.
video
Yeah.
of Brandon
of course I'm on 5K.
doing some hosting work, and
I
actually,
feel like you guys
I
are just
maintain that
real
if for
better.
some reason he decides to end
appreciate it,
up
buddy. Are you rooting
on
for me?
this side
Are
of
you
the
being genuine?
operation, he would be a huge asset to the community in that
Should've
respect.
gone
You're not
over
rooting for me.
and, gave you a
That's fucked
hug.
up.
I thought you were going in a different direction, Ali. There's also video out there of Brandon Wilson
Yeah, that's fucked up.
is a hip-hop artist. I'm not kidding. He's a rapper.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Very,
A man of many talents.
very versatile fella.
By the way, shout out the Razor Ramon
Right.
shirt there. Zaki, WrestleMania coming to town here in Vegas?
Sure is. This
Just a
weekend. I'll
few
be there
days.
on Sunday.
I believe it.
Yep.
You gonna go into Bill's Mafia mode and crack a table?
Well, we'll see. Apparently, I'm going to be in the Pat McAfee suite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I made that part up.
Oh.
But I am going.
Yeah. 4th deck.
Parking lot.
Andrews jamming it here with the Jack 7 offsuit. Doc with the Queen Deuce
335.
suited.
Yeah, he's thinking about giving this a spin. Not a lot of chips, obviously, from Cherish. Queen Deuce suited can be the best hand. As we can see, it is the best hand.
Yeah, there is some part of a range that he is ahead of, but that deuce problematic enough to allow her to do what Brandon Wilson did to her a pot ago, and back come those 2 blinds for the 35-year-old Chambersburg, PA native who lives here in Las Vegas. Brock Wilson's girlfriend, obviously a brilliant mind off of which to bounce her ideas. Home chef and pastry baker, 2-time GPI Female Player of the Year, an accolade that Kristen Foxen, who won yesterday's event number 4, for a trip to the,
What's that?
you know.
You know, I was going to talk about, you pointed out the baking.
Yeah.
She brings to the studio here often muffins and or chocolate chip cookies, brownies. I'm
What-
telling you, yes.
Now,
And
I believe it all, but you know,
Yeah.
being that certain ingredients are legal here in Las Vegas, is anyone,
Yeah.
we can't just distribute them haphazardly to the entire crew. for
I'll
fear
take
of-
2.
Yeah, just saying. Cherish could end up nuking you boys. King Jack, she drops a bomb from the button.
Count.
Ace 10 for Placey.
Yeah, action.
Yep.
By the way, just so you know, the exact counts up on the screen. It's almost always
Peter
exactly
Placey.
accurate. Just
Should be what I started with.
Out of California.
I got my.
One of the newer faces here at the PokerGO Tour.
You know, first
His
time.
first final table.
Yeah, first time I'm laying eyes on him from here inside the booth.
Call.
As the expected call eventually does get declared by the 57-year-old who lives in San Juan Capistrano by way of Santa Monica. Business owner, not a professional poker player, but obviously has looked the part en route to this final table where he might just be punching himself and 4 others into the top 5 if his ace-10 holds on, which it very much does on this board. Cherish recognizing
any outs going to the river.
the challenge before her, and she's going to draw dead on the turn. No sweat and no full orbit worth of participation for Cherish Andrews as she is showered early here in event 5. $40,000 richer for her efforts though, Brent.
Yeah, and most important, now number 1 on the U.S. Poker Open leaderboard, has her eyes on the prize, the giant Golden Eagle to accompany her already event number 3 win. I have a feeling we're going to see Cherish again. I'm predicting, I'm calling it another final table here at the U.
And James.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shit.
But no one else in the family plays poker.
He's it. Nobody?
Well, his immediate family. Travel enthusiast who met his wife at a restaurant.
Who else?
Italy and Egypt among his favorite destinations. Passport stamps in Greece, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, Spain. Placey gets around. And you know what? I mean, I'm hoping that there's some lie flats involved, you know, for Placey's sake in these journeys.
What's a lie flat?
When the seat on the plane turns into a bed.
They make those?
You know what, Brent? It's better for you to think they don't. You know, just whilst wedging yourself. And no judgment, but, you know, at the back of the bus.
That's why I like the emergency row. You get extra leg room.
Yes. But you understand that everyone's counting on you in that spot, right? As we count bottom pair against top pair here. It was Dr. Jack who clicked it with the blinds at 30, 60, and 60 up to 120. Just a couple of hours of poker is all it took to whittle ourselves from 6 down to the final 2 here in event number 5, a 10K no limit. Welcome back for continuing coverage of the 2026 U.S. Poker Open. Ali Najad and Brent Hanks, the tandem in the booth and the duo on the felt. Right there, front and center on either side of the Gilded Eagle. Peter Placey, a heads-up record, unblemished.
Wow.
At 2-0, came into today with 1.4 million in front of him, and he has not looked back. Bringing the chip lead up against Dr. Jack, 13-10. That is his career heads-up record, but it could be another L swiftly if he doesn't find a few hands with which to try to work his way into that 224K top slot and 80K prize differential, as both parties have locked up 144,000. Blind 75 and 125, 300K every 2 hands, 150 on average per pot. The price of poker, and you see that whopping 5.4 million chip differential between Placey and Dr. Jack. Peter claiming the pelt of Anil Jivani just prior to the break, and now looking to claim first blood here, heads up with a King 8 suited, which puts Queen 7 off into the bin.
Dr. Jack, right around 16 bigs, so this could go rather quickly if Placey continues to apply pressure. 2-0, heads up, Ali. That's impressive. Could he go 3-0 here today for Placey?
Well, certainly, with the lion's share of the chips, he is the odds-on favorite. Any ace, a favorite of anyone playing heads up, and Dr. Jack takes his turn, raising and taking it. And I suspect we could end up playing a little table tennis here in terms of raise and take it's on the button and a kind of less willing to engage duo.
Yeah, a little bit of tug of war, back and forth,
Yep.
jab here, jab there. Eventually, though, we know it. It's inevitable. The haymaker, it's coming.
You heard Placey talk about patience. I suspect he'll have plenty of it.
Oh, dirty diaper now for Placey.
This will be a little window into how cagey he wants to make this match, by the way. If he elects to limp, I think this is a good sign.
Yeah, this is very nice.
Not so nice to be sharing the deuce. Of course, not so nice as queen deuce off.
You're just
turn.
getting an unbelievable price whenever you're on the button.
Yeah.
You just have to flick in another 50K.
Yeah.
That big blind ante is so critical where you rarely want to fold on the button.
Well, you rarely find yourself down the streets with deuce 3 off on this particular board. The doctor with middle pair well out in front, but does slip it. And Placey doesn't get out of line. Nor does he find any possible path to victory.
Easy game.
Yeah. Bet and take there for the doctor. "64 years of age." So good for the mental acuity of all of us as we get on, is playing any sorts of game. Poker in particular. I think there's so many robust decision points, so much thought that's required. Keep those synapses firing. Meanwhile, not firing but limping is the doctor. 5-6 off, 9s for Placey. You could see him loading it up.
All in.
All in.
Oh, all
There
the
it
way
is.
up. 6 high is never a customer. Thus far, largely straightforward approaches from both. But I wonder if there isn't going to be a point at which one of these two looks across the way and begins to think, all right, there is opportunity before me. Ace on the button now for Placey.
$475.
Wow, and that's a hefty raise size from Placey. 475 to go.
And he's kind of been, I don't want to say all over the place, but in more than one place when it comes to the pre-flop sizings. And I wonder whether or not Dr. Jack hasn't kind of begun to tether ranges to the choices.
I mean, look what just happened there, right? 475. Dr. Jack had 10-6 suited. A hand he probably would love to play heads up, but because of that sizing, he felt fold was best.
You know, we're really, they're having a lot of fun back in the booth with that soundboard, as you put it. It'd be great if they glitched and it was like a duck sound or, you know, like a seagull.
Got event number 6 going on in the background. Anybody tuning in, you can check out the live reporting over at Poker News. Our partners handling all of the live reporting. Ace-King now for Placey on the button.
Reporting for duty.
Raise. Sorry.
Oh, now, hang on a moment. Did Dr. Jack just say raise
I think
out
he
of
did.
turn?
Yes.
And I wonder what that's going to do to Placey's choice.
Oh, so the raise stands 325 total.
Okay, so he chooses to limp. The raise declaration from Dr.
then
Jack
I can
to
act.
325,000.
All in.
All in.
And he traps him.
Yep. Punished.
That was a little slippery, by the way.
He's going to make that raise stand by just limping in and then just elevator north. See if you got it, buddy.
Boy, so a costly misstep there for Dr. Jack, who can ill afford to make them with just $1.5 million in front of him. He is approaching the 10 big threshold. And we refer to it so often, of course, Brent, because it is generally adopted as that dividing line between being able to play some poker, find some 3-bets, some opens, and just being relegated to pre-flop choices and nothing further. Dusty hook on the button for Jack.
Call.
Call.
The importance of playing pots, not letting go of that 5 to 1 that the pot lays us. So he does limp. Placey checks back the king 8. Ace deuce 10.
Check. $150.
150 in position from Jack. I think he identifies this board texture as not likely to have hit Placey when he checks back the big, so fires and takes it. Trying to cobble. You know, earlier I was suggesting that there would be some inverse correlation between the amount of care that the good doctor would be able to provide his patients and how much time he spent playing here in the studio. Well, he is in fact retired. So, you know,
Still a
less
doctor, though, right?
concerns.
Even if you're retired, are you still, doctor?
You're always a doctor.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, he's not practicing, so we don't have to worry about, you know,
No
somebody being
private
left
stuff,
unattended.
You know, I mean, I wouldn't mind being. I could use a physical.
You
Ali, you've
really
talked
could.
about this.
You really could. You should head on over
I
there
wouldn't
and
mind
just
if he
cough for Jack.
just give me some sort of examination. I don't want to get down there.
Down where?
Can't you do a physical without the coughing part?
I don't, you know, I'm not sure. I think they need to ensure there are no hernias.
I don't have one. I mean,
How do
wouldn't
you-
I
how do you
know?
know?
Wouldn't I? I mean,
You know?
doesn't anybody or everybody know if they have a
I'm not
hernia?
su- I'm not sure. You know, again, I'm not the physician. He is.
Are there hidden hernias?
I believe there could be, potentially. You know, again, you know, WebMD is your friend, or perhaps Dr. Jack, for such answers. You did so great with the last one, Brent. You want to take another pass here?
Yeah, let me hit this
All
one,
right,
Ali.
sure.
Yeah. Play the U.S. Poker Open online, running now through April 26th. Get in on the action with daily tournaments, big guarantees, and a chance to win a Las Vegas prize. Don't miss it. Play the U.S. Poker Open online at globalpoker.com.
Do you know that was promising, by the way? That
You told me I needed
it was
to
almost disappointingly
practice.
buttoned up.
Yeah.
That was where's the fun in that? I miss the old Brent
I
promo
only
reader.
screw up our own company ad reads. You know, if it's another company, third party, a sponsor,
That's a great
I
idea.
nail those.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I like to go off script on the Play Poker Go
Sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Susie out there, Betty, Martha.
Uh-huh. You know, remember, you are the CEO, but there's also an owner. You know, shout out El Jefe.
El Jefe.
And, you know, you could have some things to answer for if you continue to butcher the
I understand.
in-house promos.
One must be held accountable.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm learning that. Placey puts the dirty diaper into the bin. Somewhere out there, Nick Rigby winces.
Have you noticed, by the way, the big rig is out there winning every tournament under the sun?
Didn't he win 2 in a day?
He's in another final table now. He's won like 8 of those Run Good rings out there on the Run Good Poker Tour.
There's a few names which tend to come to mind, and as we're turning the corner toward the summer, in reference to World Series of Poker kind of main event operators, and the big rig, especially if he's on form.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that gets it.
You got to get him up at the table. Yes. The feature.
Oh, yeah.
The lights.
Up to 300 with the ace-queen featured on the button for Doc, and 3-4 offsuit. Won't defend. I think if I'm logging a lot of the data that I've had access to thus far on the day, even though I'm short on chips, even though those chips are so precious, I think I'm just raising 100% of buttons as a click. And I think I might even start raising in the big after a limp until I see resistance out of the opposition.
I like it. And we're watching, you know, are there in-game adjustments being employed here between Placey and Dr. Pan?
I mean, I think Placey recognizes just how precious 7.9 is
275
as he jockeys for the extra 80. And I think he doesn't want to give an opportunity to Dr. Jack when he's aggressing to play inflated pots. Does raise the queen 6 and take. Well, if you're just joining us, you are casting your eyes on a lesser seen sight when it comes to the majors inside the PokerGo studio here, event 5 of the US Poker Open, featuring 2 players who don't do this for a living. Now, granted, Dr. Jack Pan in retirement has certainly taken to poker in a very serious manner, but not his livelihood. Nor is it for Peter Placey as they vie for the title here, and Placey in a good place with 6s against 6-5.
Yeah.
Jams over the top, and that's 300 lost.
You know, the good doctor here, I know he's not a professional, and I'm happy that you pointed out he plays a ton of poker. He's got 3 bracelets, and they're all relatively recent as well. I mean, 2022, 2023, and of course last year, 2025. This guy plays a ton of high-level poker.
Yeah, well, a couple of them online.
Yep.
And then the one that he won live last year was actually 7-card stud high-low. So, you know, he likes the mixed games.
It's the World Championship event, by the way, the 10K.
He did win the 15K Dealer's Choice earlier this year during our Mixed Games Festival. So, not at all a one-trick pony. Dr. Jack plays them all. Placey does not. It's the 8-4 offsuit. Does not fall into the camp. Back and forth, and it's going to be difficult for Dr. Jack to get something going, absent Placey's willingness to participate in a pot. King Jack, certainly a qualifier. Just an open jam here. 5-2 suited will not be in turn a qualifier.
round and round we go.
Did you ever watch DuckTales back in the day, Brent?
Of course.
Do you remember Doofus?
I do.
You do remember Doofus?
Yeah.
And do you remember the headwear?
How did you pull this out, man? Like, did that just come to you right now?
But yeah, it did. Yeah, I think it's been percolating just beneath the neural surface for most of the broadcast, but it really just the deeply inadequate circumference of the MTFV lid, which some in the chat speculate is getting smaller by the orbit, is what directed me there. Meanwhile, the direction of 375 coming from Placey's ace-8, suited jack for Pan, defends and outflops.
Check.
Check back from the pre-flop aggressor. Now given a Broadway gutter courtesy of this queen. I'm not sure what kind of appetite he'll have to take a swing at said gutter, though, with this 500K lead.
Well, Pan really steps right out into it, too. I mean, look at that board.
Yeah.
He just goes with a pair of jacks, 500.
I think, though, again, this is just supposition that checkbacks from a pre-flop aggressor in Placey are not slow plays. They're not a guy trapping. And so I'm not worried about a better king or jack. I'm not worried about the overpair sets, things like this. Okay, if the queen somehow hit you, great. But I'm just going to stab.
Yeah.
Elevation from a 9-7 offsuit out of dock. Trying to string something together here. King jack for Placey. Makes the call. Nine tray board. Trips for Pan. Just a delight, but
Check.
you need Placey to find something that's going to leave him continuing.
Check.
Gonna slow play.
No connection for Placey on this turn, but let's see if, not unlike Dr. Jack, he feels as though the checkbacks are honest and therefore opening a door to a lead.
Check.
No, just going to check it. Would imagine that noise will be made now.
$400,000.
Wow.
Call.
This is something we've not observed thus far, Brent. This is a man peeling on the strength of Qinghai on this board. 6 on the end, 10-7 and 5-7 arrive.
Check.
Placey knuckling again. Let's see. This doesn't look particularly greedy. But Qinghai doesn't look particularly good, as I think Placey was just a one and done. Either he connects with an improvement or... He just lets it go, absent a check back. So the 9 does get flashed there,
And that's
notably.
a huge pod for Pan. He's up over 20 bigs now. Finally some breathing room.
High water mark of heads-up play, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Brand new ball game.
You know, regardless of the outcome here at this table, Brent, it is kind of reaffirming in a landscape, in particular in these PGT events, which are descended upon by so many world-class professionals, to observe both of these guys squaring off heads up, who aren't part of the solver streets, who aren't GTO wizards, as they're often referred to, able to still turn up and post a big result. Slightly bigger holding here for Doc. Not so slight is the jam over the top of the 375 for the King 9.
We're not really considering, right? No.
I don't know.
Count.
Oh my gosh, no way. With King 9 for almost 25 bigs effective. What a spot this could be for the doctor if somehow he gets called.
I mean, this would be shocking from Placey, who really hasn't shown an appetite for a thin spot that I can recall. The King Jack on the turn there, you know, an outlier, but this would just be so much to play for. And what's the range? I mean, Pan's kind of down in range here. King 10 off, but even then, he's dominating. I can't imagine.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would have been shocked.
Well, Doctor looking to shock Placey. Here, this heads up square off.
1 hand remaining, 11.
Got himself up to $3.5 million.
Yep.
And one double, he'll be your chip leader.
The way he stacks these, just line them all up.
You know, I got to tell you, anytime I play poker with somebody who stacks them in fives, that's a guy that doesn't generally get the invite back.
Really? To tilt you?
It's not, they're not doing it to tilt me, but it's what it says about you. You know, in general, you're not splashy if you're putting them out there in fives. I assume you can appreciate that.
I agree. I'm just wondering now if Pan does this intentionally, like to throw his opponent off.
No.
Because he's not, you know.
First off, he doesn't have a ton of chips.
Yeah.
But yeah. Look at this.
Yeah.
Throwing Pan top pair is this flop, but Placey with second pair will have reasons to stay engaged. It was 300 ahead to bring us to this point. The check from Placey. Now Pan considers. No club out there.
Oh, yeah.
Just gonna rip it. Boy, that's
wow.
That's a really
and called.
Wow.
What?
Perhaps Dr. Jack knew something we didn't know about Placey's willingness to call even the monstrous overbet of 3 million plus into 7 1/4. 8s against 5s. How are we playing for 7 million right now?
Just out of nowhere, it's all in.
All Dr. Jack has to do is fade a 5 or a king, and he'll be your chip leader and fight on. Boom. Job done. And just when you thought there was so much recklessness to the sizing from Dr. Jack, a brilliant outcome as he decimates Placey and reverses roles.
Chop?
Huh?
You want chop? Chop.
For the money?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
125.
Hang on a sec.
hold on.
Very interesting. On the heels of now emerging as the chip
Yeah.
leader,
yeah.
Dr. Jack offering a chop. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be an even chop. Obviously, a disproportionate amount of that 80K would now, from an ICM standpoint, be going to Dr. Jack, but unclear. There was interest.
That's fascinating. An
Placey.
even chop now that Dr. Jack often, we think even, Ali, maybe not.
Yeah.
But if I, were the underdog, why I would have offered that before. Now with the chip lead, I'm thinking maybe not.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said for that. The timing of it is quite odd. If Placey was interested in a chop, to not have offered it himself at some point, and for that matter, for Dr. Jack to wait until he has the chip lead is a bit sporting for him. So a whole new ball game here in Event 5. Foreign territory for
Yeah, I was
Peter
going to
Placey.
push you in.
As an ace-8 awaited him.
Nice.
10 seconds. 375.
Pan shoots it up. Unclear what's motivating him here. Placey with the Jack 5. And he'll concede.
So my
Yes.
hand will just be dead, right? Yeah. Okay.
He's trending in the wrong direction, and note that he has no more time banks. And that's going to make things even more difficult if the all-important decision for the remainder of his stack is in the near future. 17 bigs playing 49. Jack getting an updated lay of the land. Small suited connector.
10 seconds. Raise. 475.
Placey
Oh, yeah.
showing some fight. Pan jams.
I mean, we're not.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
he
not-
thinking about calling up?
Call.
Oh my goodness,
gosh.
he does make the call. What?
You got me probably slammed. Oh, jeez.
You know, this does feel like it must be associated
to
with
see
the
some
agreement
hearts.
to chop, where Placey feels like,
Yeah, they
let's
made a
get on
deal.
with it. What's the
Right.
big deal? We're not playing for much anyway, if anything. And a gut shot.
Ooh,
Plus backdoor hearts for Placey.
we've got life.
Yeah. A lot more than he did pre-flop. Versus fives.
Oh,
Now
wow.
a double gutter as the deck gracing him with 11 outs. Can he find them? Sixes, eights, fours. What's it going to be? A 6.
What?
As he
Yeah.
pips the 5s for the double.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
I can't tell if Placey is happy or annoyed that he's going to have to keep fighting. He seems spent.
I was just looking for the straight outs. I sort of lost the 6 on my radar. What a dramatic run out, and Placey now back on top with the chip lead.
2.2,650,000.
Well, that's one way to do it. Dr. Jack, slightly breathless, I would imagine. He likely knows how improbable finding himself behind Peter Placey once more was, given he had 5s against 5-6, but here he is, 6 blinds back of Peter. 900K, that which divides the two boys.
Small, big blind.
150, right?
150.
$75?
Yeah. Ready? 375.
Back to work goes Pan.
Let's
on
just
the
get it
button.
in.
Stop. Defense is reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, for such things, baccarat and roulette are available. But here we play poker, Brent. 2 clubs, 2 trays, and an eight.
This is
Trips
dangerous.
versus top pair.
This could be it. They really could get it in now.
I mean, let's consider how much less hand there was a willingness to shovel chips into the middle with on prior occasions. Fuse lighter for Pan, 900 in there, 350 the C bet. And is Placey going to slow play? Is he going to come with a normal check raise size?
Raise.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Makes it $1 million. The king of clubs to boot, by the way, for Pan. He's just not going to be dismounted. Not for now.
Spark the dynamite. This thing's about to explode.
That wasn't a Blue Chew reference, was it? Okay, there it is. Jam, call, and Placey in prime position to be your Event 5 champion. All he needs to fade right now are 8s, but is there a club lurking that would give Pan the flush draw? No, there's not, as the King 8 is cooked. Quad 3s for Peter Placey. Dr. Jack not going to add a title to his resume today.
5-6,
He'll be your runner-up.
Oh, my God.
144K to Pan, but there's the story. Peter Placey, $224,000. Your Event 5 champion. That is nearly what he picked up courtesy of his 35th place finish in the 2014 World Series of Poker main event, which required a lot more time than this one did. You see Jack's camp there to receive him in defeat.
Placey's in disbelief out there, Ali. He just won this thing with quads.
I guess we can give him the nickname First.
Oh, I love it.
There it is, officially. Peter First Placey, $224,000. Jack Pan, $144. Those, the largest of the 12 payouts across the 80 entries here in event number 5. As the pros had to watch from a distance, Brent.
They sure did. It's all about the fellas here. The non-professionals getting it done. Placey on top. Hoist that golden eagle.
What a moment for the man that started playing the game 25 years ago. Wandered into the commerce and bike as an alternative to Vegas. Used to play 5-card draw and low ball. And here he is playing no limit and looking good in the process. So one more of those small gilded eagles awarded as we work toward an eventual overall series champion. Cherish Andrews at the top of that leaderboard. And that's going to do it for our coverage here today. On behalf of our entire team here in Las Vegas and my partner in the booth, Brent Hanks, this is Ali Najad saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow for more from the 2026 U.S. Poker Open. Good night.